What I'm doing today is put an extension to my OverEZ chicken coop so that my wife can have an area where she can store all of her extras, such as wood shavings, chicken feed, rake, whatever she wants to use in order to maintain her chicken coop. So that is what we're about to embark on. Let's get started. I wanted to get a quick video of this before I get too far along. I've already gotten further along than I wanted to before I got this video, but what we're doing is we're putting an extension here to the chicken coop so that Miyuki can have a storage area for feed, wood shavings, so on and so forth, tools for like rakes and whatnot. And the end result is it'll be the full length of this, 3 feet out. There'll be 2 doors right here for her to access. She wanted a door on the side where she could access it from inside the chicken run, but don't know that I'll be able to make one large enough. But who knows? We can always go back and adjust later on. But for the time being, we want to get this thing built so that she has tools down here, that she doesn't have stuff stored up inside the chicken coop, because currently we have things just piled up inside here. You get chicken feed off in the corner, wood shavings, you know. This is just so that she doesn't have to store it up in the shed up here and walk back and forth. We don't want to have to do that. So like I said, we'll build this out. That way we'll move all that stuff out here and it'll be separated from the chickens themselves. She'll have access to it, and we'll open this back up for her chickens. So we got, if you can see, there's more chickens up there that we're going to bring down here in a couple months. So that's where we're at right now. All right, I need to get back to work here. Good morning. It is Wednesday, December 1st, and I've managed to get the poles, or the front poles here, cut. Got all the poles painted so that they match the exterior of the existing coop. And what we're getting ready to do today is, we've already secured these to the coop, so that's step 1. Next, we're going to temporarily secure these 2 outside posts so that we can start squaring it up and start framing this up. So let me stop the video. We'll get this started and I'll show you what I've gotten accomplished here in a few hours. All right, let's get to it. I have now temporarily leveled and squared these poles up. Now the next step is to get the angle of the roof down to these 2 poles correct so that we can start framing the top up. So that's going to be the next step. So let's get to that, and then once we do that, at the same time we'll start framing in the floor so that we can get a place to be able to stand on while we're putting the roof on. So we want to work on that simultaneously. So let's get to that. Here's what we got so far. It's about 3:45, I think it is, in the afternoon. December the 1st. I've got the first half of the floor framed up. I'm gonna quit for the day because I smashed my finger and took the couple layers of skin off, so it's kind of throbbing right now. So I wanted to get a little bit done before I stopped. I actually did that when I was driving the post hole digger to dig this last hole here. I had this cross member up here, and I just came down right on that with my finger, and just can't believe I did that. But anywho, I'll survive. So that's what we got so far. I'll get this other half done tomorrow, and then we'll start framing up the walls. All right then, till tomorrow. Good afternoon. It is Thursday, December 2nd, and I've managed to get concrete poured for the back two poles. That way I can finish up framing up the second half of the floor base here. So I've got that done up, and for the most part, and you can see a little bit of imperfection, but I can actually fix that if I really want to. And I do. I don't want to have anything offset, although the only thing this is going to be for is to store the feed, tools, wood shaves and whatnot. But I do want it to look good. Alright, so I've got to go get some more concrete, and then we'll get back here. We'll get moving on pouring the last three fills of the front holes here, and then we'll start on the side walls. We'll start framing up this front here so we can begin to put the roof on. And we'll be real close to being finished. We'll be finished by the weekend. Alright, get moving here. Good evening. Want to show what I've got accomplished here today. So I managed to get the concrete filled in the two poles closest to the chicken coop. I managed to get the other half of the floor joist framed up, and managed to trim down and fit the floor. So I was able to fit that in this evening. Tomorrow I'll start framing in this wall and that wall, and hopefully start framing in the front, so that I can, with all luck, be able to start fabricating the frame for the roof and framing in the doors. So that's planned for tomorrow. Let's see how everything cooperates. I was able to get concrete for these last three poles, so we should be able to get done pretty quick. I did manage to be off a little bit on these front three poles by 1/4 of an inch. That, and honestly, 1/4 of an inch as a whole, it only throws me off by about 1/8 of an inch on each side. So by the time I get the roof on, and I don't know if you can see this, but right here, these side cuts right here, they're a whole lot more forgiving than you would think they are. You can see there's a little gap right here, so if I get down to here and I'm 1/4 of an inch off as a whole, this side will be 1/8 of an inch, the other side will be 1/8 of an inch, you will not notice. So this is going to look very nice. I'm going to do my best to match the trim. I was not able to find this in regular board, so had to go with PVC, but I believe I mesh up pretty good. Good part about it is I don't have to paint it. So we shall see, and I should be able to do pretty good about matching up this door too. So that's it for the night. Let me get everything put away and get a shower and get ready for more. Good afternoon. It is Saturday, December 4th. I wanted to do a quick video before I get started. I did manage to get the sidewall here framed up and got this one corner post cut down. Now I can start cutting the other 2 posts down, then I'll start framing up the front 2 and the last side, and then we'll be able to start putting the roof on. But before I go get into that, I want to introduce my newest tool to my repertoire. This is the Ryobi 18-volt miter saw. It is a single bevel 7 1/4 inch miter saw. Home Depot had this on sale for $99, something that they don't normally carry year round. So I was pleased to get this. The reason why I got this is when I would, let me explain something. I am not what you would call an expert carpenter. I cannot, I don't have the skill set to cut these pieces down to exact size. So I'll either end up cutting it down and it be an eighth of an inch too long, and then when I try and make a micro cut with a circular saw, then I cut too much off. So what I was doing is I was going back and forth all the way up to the house up there to use the miter saw up in the garage to make the micro cuts in order to get these down to the exact fit. So I got tired of doing that because I've made dozens of trips already. As you can see, I've the floor, that's about a dozen pieces of wood right there that I had to go back and forth on, and I messed up. You can see scraps all over the place. I messed up a few times because I tried to use the circular saw and just was not working. So this is my newest investment, so I don't have to run back and forth. They say on YouTube videos that it gets about 90 cuts per charge. Hopefully I don't have to, I know I won't have to make 90 cuts from now to the time that I stop, or from now until the time that I finish up on this project. But nevertheless, let's get started and see if we can get this thing done here by the end of the day, because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. All right, let's see what we can do. Let y'all see the end result by the end of the day. Let's get started. I wanted to do this quick video because I am thoroughly impressed with this Ryobi cordless miter saw. So it took me better part of half the day running back and forth to the garage to get that to the right micro length that I needed in order for it to fit properly. And part of that's me just possibly having a little bit of ADHD going on, and the fact that I did not want to mess up on this. But from the time that I got down here, made the video introducing this saw, to the time that I just made this wall, it's only been about 30-45 minutes maybe. Impressive. That's just because I was able to make micro cuts with this in order to get these things to fit properly. So kudos to Ryobi. And the reason why I went with Ryobi is it's $99. If you already have the batteries, it's $99 for the tool itself. You can't beat it. Yes, does it only have a 3-year warranty? Sure, but Ryobi stands behind that 3-year warranty. That I can attest, because I've had trouble with items in the past, and I've called them up and they've accommodated. But I can't justify, because I have I've got three different cordless tools right now. I've got rigid, that's my go-to, that has a lifetime warranty. This circular saw right here, I think it's 3 years old. If it breaks 10 years down the road, as long as Rigid is in business, they're going to either fix it or give me a new one, just like that. Ryobi, not so much, but guess what? This same saw in Rigid is 3 times as much. It's $329 if I remember correctly. I priced it out just before I bought this because I was really wanting that lifetime warranty, but I can't afford $300 right now. I can't justify it, because quite frankly, this is made just as well. And a little secret that I found out today is Cohart, or I have to look it up, but a company that specializes in tools at Walmart. There was a representative at Walmart today that I spoke with from that particular company, just told me that they bought out Rigid and Ryobi. They're not changing anything about it, but they bought them out. So there's really nothing unique about these, and so far I've been quite impressed. Now I'll sing praises to them until it decides to kick the bucket on me, which I don't think it will. I'll let you know in 3 years. All right, let me get back to work. Talk to y'all later. Good morning. It is Sunday, December 5th, and I've managed to get all the walls framed up, and actually got one of the wall panels put up with the help of Miyuki. That was quite difficult, considering I had to work in between that wire right there. See if you can see that. If you can see that wire right there, I had to have Miyuki press up against that board and help hold the board up while pushing into the groove where that white board is. It was quite the chore, but we managed to get it in, and without scarring the panel up too bad. I was quite impressed with that. So the next step is we will get this panel put on, this panel, cross panel here, so on and so forth, inside, and then we'll start working on the roof. See if we can get that done, get all this done by 2 at the latest, hopefully. It's pushing noontime right now, but we're making good progress. So for me not knowing really what I'm doing, I think I'm doing a halfway decent job. So let's get back to this. All right, it's 3:45 in the afternoon. Want to do a quick update before I had to start packing things up. I might make a little bit more progress, but just in case I don't, here's what we've got accomplished so far. As I showed you earlier, we managed to get that sidewall started. Since then, we've completed the sidewall. We've got the front framed in and prepped in order to frame up the door. These are going to be 20.5 inches on each side. We're going to put 2 doors here, and we're going to do our very best to match everything to the trim, and I've already got the panels painted, so with all luck we'll be able to get this started putting the walls up tomorrow. And if we can get the walls put up, then we can get the roof put on and get real close to being finished with this. It's just a little bit here and there to finish up and be all set. Yep, it's pretty straight. Yeah. I more or less eyeballed this in order to get this squared up. I think I did a right decent job. I don't know if I can. No, can't do that. But yep, that is it. Just wanted to once again sing praises on this Ryobi miter saw. Man, it saved so much time and effort. I was able to cut micro cuts down, and what I mean by micro cuts is, for me, I look at a measurement and I could be a 1/16 of an inch off, and I always try and go a 1/16 of an inch above instead of being too short, because once you cut too much, you can't go back. You have to throw that piece of wood off to the side and get another piece and try again. So when I say micro cuts, I mean cuts sometimes as thin as a couple pieces of paper. That's how close I am to getting it in place. So that's what I mean by micro cuts. Just want to clarify. And with a circular saw, with a handheld circular saw, you really can't do that. So miter saw really came in handy. All right. And once again, like I said, it's $99 at Home Depot right now. Anyone that needs a good handy saw, and you don't have the means to run electricity where you're at, that's the ticket. And I've cut, let's see here where we're at. Bam. One more time. Still at 3/4 power. And I've made at least a dozen cuts. It really doesn't use that much electricity or use that much energy on the batteries. So I'm pretty positive I can get at least 100 cuts out of it. All right, I'm done gabbing. Let me get back to work. That's how it takes me days to get things done, because I stop, gab for 5 minutes, and then cut a few more minutes, stop, gab for 5 minutes. When you do that 5 times, there's an hour. All right, enough. Back to work. Good morning. It is Sunday, December 5th, and I've managed to get all the walls framed up, and actually got one of the wall panels put up with the help of Miyuki. That was quite difficult, considering I had to work in between that wire right there. See if you can see that. If you can see that wire right there, I had to have Miyuki press up against that board and help hold the board up while pushing into the groove where that white board is. It was quite the chore, but we managed to get it in, and without scarring the panel up too bad. I was quite impressed with that. So the next step is we will get this panel put on, this panel, cross panel here, so on and so forth, inside, and then we'll start working on the roof. See if we can get that done, get all this done by 2 at the latest, hopefully. It's pushing noon time right now, but we're making good progress. So for me not knowing really what I'm doing, I think I'm doing a halfway decent job. So let's get back to this. Good morning. It is Friday, December 10th, and we finally finished up on the expansion of my wife's chicken coop, her OverEZ extra large chicken coop. Now I'm going to put this on YouTube and show everybody a little time lapse, I guess you might say, of start to finish on this. I didn't post any measurements because my measurements might be different from another person's measurements. You could make this deeper if you wanted to. I chose to make it the depth that I did because we don't have a whole lot of stuff to put in there, and I didn't want it to come out past the corner of our chicken run. That's the reason why I made it the the dimensions that I did. So just so everyone has a little clarity on what I did specifically, the width of chicken coop itself is 8 feet. The overall width of the roof is 100 inches, and the depth I made right at 3 feet. So it took me a little while because 1, I didn't know what I was doing. 2, I did this all by myself, so I just did a little bit of time at my leisure. And a little over a week has passed by, and well, I think it's coming up on 2 weeks that it took me to do this. But nevertheless, it matches pretty good. I got the paint right. And the good part about it is with OverEZ chicken coops, when they send the kit out, they send you with touch-up paint, which has the breakdown of the shade of color that you want to put on here. So, and it's Sherwin-Williams. If you take it to Sherwin-Williams, they can match it pretty good. And the white, instead of getting this type of board, which I could not find, you can get what I went and did is I went and got a PVC board, which is already white. You don't have to paint it, never have to paint it, and never rots. It does have the texture, if I can, there we go. It does have the textures in there that the original has, so yeah, it was more expensive though. And 8-foot board of this is $15, and I used 5, but still, it's not bad. My overall cost, I estimate about $450. That's concrete, wood, nails, screws, what have you. So we live in a hurricane area, so we definitely want to make sure that this thing does not lift and get turned over, get damaged, especially for the amount of money that the chicken coop itself costs. You don't want to have something like that getting damaged. All right, I am pleased with my work. Show you a quick inside view. And these doors are 20 inches wide by 34 inches tall, so you can climb up in here. So as y'all recall from my earlier videos, this was inside the chicken coop, now it's not, and there is plenty of room to put other things. So hopefully we never have to worry about filling this up, but I want to make it plain big enough so that we don't have a bunch of stuff crammed up in there, and then that's kind of defeats the purpose. All right, that's it. Hope someone is inspired and uses my video to work off of a little bit to do something with their chicken coop. All right, y'all take care. Have a blessed day.